Peterborough, we're dipping on some kayak grape. Oh yeah, kayak grape. Mm-hmm. Little fella. I got a big dip in. But yeah, okay. So I'm here to tell you a story of a tour I did. It wasn't a music tour, it was a poetry tour. I've done a lot of spoken word performances in my life. I've done a lot of writing in my life. And back in 1998, I published this poem book, this Behind Paredos, Selected Poems of Patrick Walsh. And it's actually a legit publication. You can see it's got like an ISBN. I think it's on the back too. Yeah, ISBN number. This is I put this in the National Library of Canada. So I have a little publishing company called Moto Press, but I started it to publish other people's writing, but everything bombs out, so I used it to publish some of my own writing and some of my friend Dave's writing. And speaking of Dave, Dave wrote a lot of poetry. We had a friend who came with us who wrote a lot of poetry at the time. And my ex-wife came along to drive. She wasn't my wife at the time. We were just friends. Back in the 90s when I was doing a lot of poetry just equaled fucking hardcore alcohol abuse. So we did a lot of drinking right from the 10 minutes before we got in the car. We were just started drinking and it never stopped. And but so anyhow, our little team of people met up with a little team of poets in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. We toured that there in Stratford and then back in Peterborough, and just a short little tour. But the Kitchener-Waterloo people, they were very stuffy, academic, straight-laced, sober kind of poetry people, like real, like academic, literary people, right? And they fucking hated us, you know. They thought we were just a travesty to literature, you know, because we were drunk and crazy and, you know. I did half of my poetry reading. I kind of headlined the event, and so I was peddling this book, right? And I did half my reading standing in the public washroom, screaming into a urinal. That kind of shows my attitude of things like that at the time. And after the gig, we were playing pool with these people in a fucking pool hall, and we're all fucking hammered at that point. And I was beyond hammered. And this guy, Kevin, who fucking organized it, he was a dick, man, a total academic dick. And he came at me just saying, you know, fucking, you're a piece of shit writer. What the fuck are you doing? Headlining this poetry event. You're not a real writer. You're just a fucking bum. You know, you're not, just like comments on my education and such and so forth, you know. And I was like, fuck you, man. This is what I stand for. You know, I'll fight you in the street. And I was getting ready to clock him. And my friend Dave came and bear hugged me. And Methra got in between us and broke it up. So, anyhow, the tour and the drinking went on. Excessively. Fucking nuts. I won't even go into the details because it would be like, I'd probably just get banned from YouTube. It was one of the most debauched 3 or 4 days I've ever spent in my life. I don't think I've ever been more drunk, and there was a whole lot of sex involved, and it was just crazy. But what's important is the poetry, right? And my friend Dave, who set up this event, he really likes my poetry. Okay, so now this particular poem I wrote that's in this book, he told me, I think this poem taught him more about writing poetry than anything prior that he had ever experienced. And he's a real poetry geek, you know what I mean? So, and he's quite well educated as well, you know. So I was very honored that he said that. I really don't know why, just a thing I wrote. But anyhow, this is it. It's from my book from 1998, Behind Pareto's Selected Poems by Patrick Walsh, published on Moto Press. But yeah, the poem's called As I Sit in the Seat of No Fathers Before Me. As I sit in the seat of no fathers before me, no notion unreasoned, unlikely to pass. She is heartbroken with the force of her faith that the days have seen fates of their own. Staring down upon the courtyard, sometimes down around my feet, seeing victims of no circumstance, expecting that which does surround them. Call me here to pass these doors, the traffic sweeping deftly by, the comatose and dying spinning softly to the grave. Business booms unwillingly, damned upon its own regard, naked and deep within its varied past. I sit in, broken, nervous as hell, unable to procure the final scene, spending judgment carelessly without knowledge. It is not of some improper ground, it is not of some unreasoning, as the empty wind screams merciless towards all of this personality. Drunken on the front lines, I succumb to my unwoeful ways, my drifting fates unwilling, unable to the change. Screaming on the forefront, undecided as the music plays, to underscore the present time should wrench out from your past, the moments brief and fleeting, parallel to points of mention. As I sit here undecided, present failing, the episode of this nature as forgiving as the last, positive, yet here unlikely. Outside with weather all around, throwing steps onto the street, lunging out of balance as the whiskey breaks its stride. Up on crowded corners, gathered people clutch at dust, radios loud, interfering. I have known no damnation other than that which I seek out, that which arrive with social grace, the thought which to speak freely. I have spent my fortunes deep, thrown all success far and away. Merciless in all of this is all which does lie here. This sits upon me freely, this curse which dances upon my head, subjecting all senses to disarray, all nerves to be repositioned. Misplaced is my old memory, with no friction to prevail, no measure to live up to, no promise to see through, concrete. Bah! I shall forget all sights, forsake all memories, give no final shot of future to this which does surround me. I sit with points unfolding, brief energy distant, absolutely unconcerned with anything at all. Alcoholic waves ensuing forth from through distinction, enveloping my wanton mind in sordid tales, unlikely and untold. I stare off into blankness, whispering, caring, looking, desperate to be further, farther, never ready to really realize. Up in front of broken mirrors, of heartstrings pulled, split center, snapped up in the future and the very far behind. Bold as being reckless, as far as all things will allow, scathingly destructive, not anywhere close at all. Give me my logic to die by, no order of the senses, the continuing saga of loss and remorse which holds no softer waters. There may be no brighter mornings until the day decides it worthy, but who can say what shall come of any given time? Running up on choices, wandering, unable to see the rapture blooming, unlikely to procure with the shaking of these disparageable hands, the days, they are upon me. Give me no lost favors to extend my hateful knowledge, no decisions regarding this future set before me. Headlong into obscene madness, the sunlight spits its time upon me, bleeding from older heartbreak, woken up nocturnal eyes. Heavy are the footsteps which travel on this broken road, stop short of lonesome driveways, empty houses echo out. Give me no more memories to distract my swinging eyes. Nothing here around me is unnoticed. Demons speak unruly through the disconcerting night, with freedom found in no spectacles unfolding. Make me see no skies, no filth here out of context. Boiling, hot, boiling, polluted. All right. It's my poem, As I Sit in the Seat of No Fathers Before Me, from Behind Paredes, my old book. And yeah, we used to do a lot of that self-publishing, doing books, publishing books, poetry of my friends, and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, it was really fun doing all that. You know, before cell phones kind of took over and publishing became posting on Facebook, you know, we used to cut and paste and do Xerox books and stuff, and that was really fucking cool. But anyhow, that's all I wanted to do this vlog for. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your, you know, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends, share it, fucking right on. You know, I'm all for it, and I thank you all for it. Without your support, I would have no support. So thank you very much. And until the next time, we'll be seeing you in the meth and of town, motherfucker.